Hello, Ice here, can of wormholes. Last time we only got 3% completion, but also learned about cutting worms into smaller bits. Also, let's peek through this door right away. Alright, we got puzzles. I can't get under that. I can't shoot that from here. But if I were to throw the can the perfect distance, I would be rotated wrong. Seems like I should be able to roll under that if I could get the can in the right place. But I'm not exactly pushing this pot. So we got some kind of overworld puzzle. What else is around? Puzzles. Puzzles. And a door that requires certainly more than I have. Or more than I have. Which will presumably get us into the cockpit of a third vessel. Oh yeah, I can just fast travel back. If I fast travel up here and then walk back down, that might have saved time over actually doing the can toss and letting the worms reform the legs. Alright, so we were making some progress here with having one of these pushed out so that I could start cutting one of these, or this. There's only one of it. Any reason I didn't try to just cut this into two pieces like this? Perhaps the fact that I would fall in if I tried it, but what if I just eat this? Then I'm long enough to do that maneuver without falling in. Okay, now the problem is I can't actually push either of these away from the fence. The cutting fence. I don't think grabbing on helps with that situation. One thing I do find myself wondering, though, is, if this was back here. I grabbed on like this. Oh. And then grabbed on like this, so I wouldn't immediately... No, wait. Never mind. I do immediately fall off either way. I was wondering if once I'm, like, sucked on to something, or grabbed on, if I was lined up with another thing, would I push it, or would I keep grabbing? My expectation is I would just push the other thing if the two were lined up. Alright, let's reset. Okay, so cutting the initial thing in half doesn't seem to be it. Unless I could get more of an outside bridge. I was supposed to push that. I still like ideas related to doing this, though. Maybe even doing this. Do I have a way to do the cut if I don't actually eat another dot? I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute. If the dot were placed one lower, I would be on it now, instead of dead. Let's just reset the whole puzzle. So push this down, and then just push this dot straight across. And then realize I can't retrieve this. New idea. Push this left. Realize I can't push the dot. Wait, I can just do this. And push the dot with the snake. Now we have a dot on that row. I can do the thing symmetrically. Doing it on this side now because the dot happened to be on that side. And that also enables us to push this one down because the dot is farther from the fence. And we still have a dot. So we could replicate the same maneuver, I expect. Can we? Yes. Just have to remember how I got the first dot into position. What am I doing? Oh, right. I need to come over this way and straighten out so that, yeah. All right. Got one. Oh, and we're not even 8 minutes into the video. And we took a moment to look around first. Of course, we spent a bit of time on that one last time. So it's not like it was a quick solve. Okay, so this seems to be a tutorial for doing this. Do I want to eat that one right away? Like, maybe. Yeah, the puzzle doesn't let me move anymore if I push a partial in. I can't go fill in the other 4 spaces myself. That was established last time. Even if I could grab onto this, flipping it over would never expose the parts I need exposed. Is there a way I could have made one of the dots from the 1x3 not fall into the hole? It's not like I can push that into... Oh, wait. Now that I'm not grabbed on, I can push that over and not push the C into oblivion. Push this up more. Roll this over. And the puzzle is solved. No, it's not. I need all 3. Never mind. I miscounted how many things we needed to eat. Huh. So, when I got the puzzle to this point, I needed to use the other segment to also fill in the other hole. And now the puzzle's solved. So it wasn't that far off from solved before. I don't like having to throw the can. It feels like it takes a while. And we had fast travel. Uh-huh. So we need to cut off a lot of dots for us to eat because there's no way we're reshaping this into... Let's see, we need a size 8 for ourselves and we're already size 4. So we don't need to cut off everything. Or we can afford to let some of it fall in the hole. Oops. I think if I just keep doing what I'm doing, we're gonna end up one short. Right. I needed to push it up first. Yep. Okay. So either I need to never drop any in the hole, which I think I just do by cutting it from the top instead of the bottom. I was gonna say, or I need a way to make use of that middle segment better. Oh wait, but now what do I do? If I could do that move without dropping any in the hole, well then I could put the 1x2 at the bottom. Alright, occurs to me, I can grab onto this until I have eliminated too much of the top. Also, it seems like my goal is to get the horizontal segment free so I can put it in the hole. If this was flipped over... Oops. What am I doing? Not that. From here. Right. There are problems associated with flipping it over in that way. Yeah. Maybe I need to cut some off before I flip it, so that the lengths involved are different. Okay, and then I can back up and push it up more, back up and push it up more. Now it's flipped over. Did that actually help me? I just assumed it would be in a better orientation for flipping the, or for cutting the middle part out if I flipped it. But that part still falls in the hole, doesn't it? Let's see. If I had already cut the other top segment off, I don't know how I could do that without the rest of the shape falling in. It occurs to me I could probably try to, like, do the whole block the thing with my own body and use that to, grab on... No, it wouldn't be long enough. I was thinking about grabbing it from the left with the exposed tip if the top was all cut off, and then trying to flip it over again. Because if I could flip the bottom to the top after cutting off the whole top, then, we wouldn't really be having problems. Okay. I can do this. What if I go around this way? Yeah, I push it, I don't grab it. It is one off. Yeah, if I could have just flipped that up, I think the puzzle actually still wouldn't be solved. Unless I could also flip it around to the left. Because once I cut off the tip, the rest would fall in. And I need to eat everything except the horizontal part. Or figure out a way to cut the horizontal part, but I think that's less likely. See, so I can still grab the bottom by doing this. So lets me flip it that way. Which doesn't quite help as much as I would like. Yeah, if only that grabbed instead of pushing, the puzzle would be solved. But it doesn't. So what else do we do? Was there ever a time it would have been better to not eat a dot so that I instead had the dot as something I could push around? I don't think so. It's not like I could form a wall of dots to push this shape against. Because even if I lined up 2 dots, I would multi-push them. They wouldn't form a wall. Right. I was thinking, like, what if I grabbed on and went all the way through? Then could I flip it upward? The answer's no, because you can't actually go all the way through. I think I may need the insight here. I don't have very many moves here. Well, now I have a lot of moves. Almost too many. Can't help noticing I have not solved the insight. Also, this is like basically where I got the puzzle too. So I guess it's like, yeah, making that L shape was correct. Now what? Well, here I have walls. So... Oh, but I can't actually grab on the way I was wanting to. Unless I... Well, now I'm stuck. Now I'm not grabbing it. Well, the good news is that as soon as I've solved this insight, I probably have the actual puzzle too. On account of I'd actually gotten it to this point. I don't think this is helping. What would help? What have I not done? Haven't done that before. And that did in fact get this to the orientation I wanted for cutting, and then I can put that in, and yeah, this puzzle would be solved from this point. So let's undo our undo, or I mean undo our... reset. can't I rotate right here? I would fall in, but why can't I? Alright, when was the last time I managed to flip this over? Because before... Yeah, I had this. And then I just needed to flip it like that while I was still grabbed on. That was what the insight was about. Oops. No, I just want to push from here on out. But the puzzle's done. Oops. Keep falling in accidentally just because I'm not thinking about avoiding falling in. There we are. Shout out to Insights. Alright, now how do I get into this puzzle? Can I just stand here and throw downward? Oh, you can't actually get under. It looked like it was high enough. Yeah, they don't like stack up and roll off each other. Spamming shots, not helping. This is the only time we've been unable to access what looked like a puzzle, but it is the first time that there's been a ring target. Because the other was, no, where was it? Was it back on the yellow ship? Never mind then. But, you know, there was something that looked like a puzzle, but no way to actually start it. Yeah, probably at least one more. Okay, we control that one. We would need to either cut 2 off from ourself or 1 off from this in order to just have something to put in the goal. The main obstacle, though, seems to be that ginormous pathway in the way of the goal. Yeah, it sure can push that there. Do I have a way of getting it down? Not really, unless I put something over here that would enable it to fall down. Or, I mean, not fall down. And then be pushed down. Similar story here, huh? My initial blocks are both kinda stuck. Oh, and so am I. Except not really. Now, unlike in Sokoban, I can push things into corners, because I can roll with them. Huh. Feels like there's not a lot to try right here. Need to get one of these pieces away from the walls, it seems like. I guess I could try to cut some of myself off. And then just hope it pays off later. Just messing around with what's possible right now. Okay, so if I'd grabbed it like this, yeah, we would have placed a dot there. Then if I was 1 longer, we could reach the goal, but not be able to fit into it. Or if I had placed a dot, like, below here... Is that still possible? No, I'm not long enough to place a dot there anymore. Okay, let's just mess around with this some more, though. So, if I make this move, place one there. If I make this move, then I need to roll this up still. Now, move down right before grabbing on. Okay, so yeah, if I have a size of 3... This was overkill. I could have placed the first dot one earlier. But it seems like I need a dot somewhere. I can't place it by just rolling on this. Because the last dot I placed was done by moving right before the grab. Like, I moved down here and was grabbed like this, and it flipped it to there, but one lower because I had this one lower. So, yeah. How do I make a bridge that has a better dot? Because it can't be using the technique that I've been using so far. And also, separately from that, how do I make use of this 1x3? It seems pretty well stuck in places that aren't useful to me. Like, I can grab it too, but anywhere I would flip to doesn't have a cutting surface. Ah. It didn't help. Uh-huh. I don't think cutting off a length of 2 anywhere is useful. I do that first, and I haven't pushed the 3 off yet. I don't think having that dot down there helps me with the 3 at all, though. I guess... What about... I need to still be longer. What about something like this? That still put the dot where I could have put it anyway. But what about over here? Well, the length of 5, it's kind of awkward to try to get to where I want to be. Well, this is in the far left position. Oh, maybe I need to roll it to there then. Right, needs to still be here first. Okay, what about this? Can't really orient my tail where I want it, but what if I'd flipped it into a better spot? Well, I couldn't have had it below the cutting surface before the flip, which is kind of where I want to be. Can't even straighten out enough using that. Yeah, due to parity, a length of 5 isn't gonna let me grab that the way I want. Maybe I do one of these cuts first. Just push it, don't grab it for rolling. Might even be this one first. And now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like a good spot for the first dot. I guess one more to the right would be ideal. Oh yeah, if I place the 2 dots exactly, then I only need 2 dots. So how would I get the first one, I guess, lined up with this blue block? Was the spot? No, I don't think it was, actually. First one needs to be... Wait, no, I'm still... I need both of them were right one of where they were, which isn't a technique I've gotten with this. I can't roll down from here. Although, wait. Maybe the starting position is the right position, because what if I was coming in from here? That seems like a pretty good spot for that dot. Exactly 2 gaps between it and the goal. But then that's too far left. That's correct. Alright. Solved. With no insight. 10. Does that let me peek in the door before we end things off? Oh, it's more puzzles. And an elevator room, probably, because it's sealed. And also, they tend to have these, like, 4 diamonds in front of them. I guess I didn't check whether the first one had it. Okay, but yeah, they look like elevator rooms. There's, like, a beacon up there. We've discovered some part of a vessel. We could even reach it. Without giving up any ability to reach any part of the vessel we were already on. It's desert world. But anyway, I think next time we'll, Oh, this even has a flashing dot for that puzzle I couldn't access. I wonder if there's a certain orientation of the ship that somehow makes this easier to get into. But anyway, we'll resume from here next time. I don't think it matters that the puzzles get rotated if I rotate the ship. I can't imagine how that would make a difference. But anyway, yeah.